Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your beautiful host, Young Buffett, and in today's video, we're going to talk about what we always talk about. So just forget about the intro, like the video, and let's just jump right into it. If you haven't already, hop over to Finery and talk about stocks all day long. That's what we do here. Next, Ape Wisdom. What are people talking about? Ape Wisdom covers Wall Street Bets, Wall Street Bets New, Wall Street Bets Elite, stock market, investing, SPACs, options, day trading, and short squeeze subreddits. The number one most talked about ticker on the market is SPY. So the SPY, there's a lot going on. There are a lot of catalysts coming up. The U.S. debt ceiling is a big factor. A lot of taxes, a lot of stuff. A lot of Fed chairs talking. Janet Yellen is talking. Bunch of stuff to look out for. So makes sense why SPY is number one. Then we have CEI has just been going absolutely crazy. We have Smile Direct Club. We have ATER. We have GameStop. Lucid has been doing well as well. They actually are getting into production, which is very, very interesting. AMC, Palantir, FAMI, Tesla, QQQ, BBIG, AMD, Dole, Wish, DTE, SoFi, Apple, and then CLOV. So CLOV number 19 on the list, kind of falling on the comment volume, but with that brings positive public sentiment with a 73% increase in mentions, positive mentions. So nearby words include like, time, something, price, up, calls, SDC, then, post, buy, off, AMC, ATER, LL, and average. So people are still talking about it. Not as much as everything else, but people are still talking about it. Over on the Wall Street Bets side of things, look at the overall comment volume. Kind of seems lower than usual. A lot more neutral sentiment, which is visualized by these gray lines here. So very interesting to see what people are talking about and at what velocity. So when the overall market gets weird, it seems like individual stocks kind of lose light a little bit. We have CLOV all the way down here. It typically is somewhere over here. Very rarely is it number one or number two, but down here, kind of lower than usual. Taking a look at this chart, it shows comment volume and stock price overlap with each other with positive and negative sentiment colored in red and green. The beige line being the stock price. We are falling to meet the comment volume. Again, none of that is related or correlated in any way, or I'm not assuming it is, but it's just interesting to see what moves first. So let's see where the stock price levels out. Let's see where the comment volume follows, and let's see where the money goes by looking at the max pain. So the max pain still has not changed, and I don't expect it to change, but ever since it did change one or two times since we've been documenting it, it's been very interesting for me. So overall, max pain is at 8. That means the stock price should close. I'm assuming it should close somewhere around 8. That will cause the most amount of damage to calls and puts. Obviously, if the stock price goes to 4, that means the people who bought 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 8, and so on, puts would actually make a lot of money. So the market makers don't want that. They also don't want CLOV to be at 15, for example, because anybody who bought 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 would win. So the max pain shows you where the stock price should be to cause the most amount of pain. So the stock price is currently at 740, which is just below 8, but it's also below 7.5. So there are some puts that are winning. So I do expect the stock price to go up, so those puts lose as well. They want all of these options to expire worthless. So let's see if that actually comes to fruition. Hopping over to dark pool data. Now this is where it gets interesting. Tim actually over at the Finery page sent me a screenshot, or sent me a link to the dark pool data halfway through the day and said, this is weird. And yes, it is weird. So the stock was down 5.85% today, right? Now, typically, I would assume, oh, okay, it's the dark pools and they're causing all this short pressure and all this stuff. But the dark pool data is showing positive. So it's not getting heavily shorted in the dark pools. Now, why is the stock price falling? the the net short volume is positive 2.1 million. The net short volume in dollars is positive 16.7. So this keeps going back and forth from positive and negative. I wonder if the shorting is happening more on the retail side of things. So typically in the dark pools, we don't know what's going on. I kind of want to dig around and see if we can find any public facing information or retail facing information to see if that's where the downward pressure is coming from. Should be interesting to see. Also, I saw this Reddit post that I just thought I'd share with you guys because I 100% agree. Posted by To The Noon 4 hours ago. Ever since I got on the CLOV train 4 months ago, there was not a single negative news item about the company. Let me repeat that. Not a single negative news item about the company. So in contrast, there's been nothing but positive news about the company, its expansion, growth, and future prospects. However, the stock price just keeps getting lower and lower despite the fact that the company is doing only better and better. I'm not Warren Buffett, but even I know that is not how a company's stock price is supposed to work. The obvious conclusion here is that the stock price is being extremely manipulated all day, every day. This means that we're seeing on our screens is bullshit, and the real price is obviously much, 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 much higher. Don't fall for this bullshit. I agree with that. Typically, how a stock price works is future expectations. So that's why earnings are important. That's why future facing guidance is important. But typically when a company comes out, you take a look at their valuations, you take a look at their PE, you take a look at how they're doing, you take a look at what their future plans are, you take a look at the market, their sector, their niche, their growth plans, their team. You look at a stock and you say, are they going to be doing what they're doing now, but 10 years from now, better and more profitably, more efficiently? If yes, then the stock price should be this. And that's typically how stock prices move. But unfortunately, this stock has just been so shorted and controlled and manipulated that it's not reflecting what its true price should be. Now, I'm not here to tell you exactly what the true price should be. That's not my field. My field is, my expertise is finding stocks that are going to do what they're doing now, but better. And this stock is just the perfect example of that. Maybe I can even make a video that talks about the specifics of what CLOV is doing and what I expect them to do in the future. If you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe either, but I'm just going to keep holding and see what happens. It just makes sense to me that this stock should be anywhere. Honestly, to be realistic, right now it's what, 740. It got to 17 naturally. I mean, there's no reason to say that this stock should be anywhere below 10. Naturally, it could be anywhere from 12 to 14. Without any short pressure or anything like that, it could be 18 to 22. After future earnings, more profitability, if they find new team members, if they continue to grow in their markets, 25 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. And this thing just keeps growing. And a perfect example of that is companies like Humana or UNH. I know they're kind of different, but kind of similar in the same way. So don't let this stuff freak you out. If you're anything like me, or if you're a long-term investor, or if you just like finding stocks like this, in the long term, it's honestly pretty solid. So I'm not worried. It's just frustrating to see day after day downward pressures, the options chains pricing in massive movements and all getting wiped out. It's frustrating to see hedge funds and other institutions control a stock to this effect. But it is what it is. So just hang in there. Again, nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any type of security or investment, but should be interesting to see how this plays out. With that, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.